Yes, I made my promise of coming back. But today, something out of the ordinary, we will be looking at the new DG County update, which came out, I think, November 1st, if I'm not mistaken. I'd have to double check my facts on that. But we'll be reviewing this update, and I will be rating it on a scale of 1 to 10. See how good it is. So let's get started with this. So here is the new locomotive in the thumbnail, as you can see here. I'm going to be taking a look at it inside and outside, but first let's get started on the outside detail-wise. This is a White Pass locomotive. For you fans out there of Tweetsy 190, this was the same railroad that Tweetsy 190 ran on, the White Pass. These were I think these took over the steam locomotives, if I'm not mistaken. But they were more, I think, streamlined for passenger trains. It's narrow gauge, obviously it's not going to go insanely fast. I'd say they do like 40 miles an hour max. Other than that, that's really all I know about the history. I've seen some images of them, not much. Never seen one in person. I have seen Tweetsy 190 and Tweetsy 12 in person many of times. But let's go ahead and take a look at the details. So, I like trains, but I'm not like I don't like know everything. Sorry for that stuttering. I don't know like every width about them, like the wheelbase or anything. I know the wheelbase, but of like steam locomotives and stuff. But I'm not really like knowing everything. I don't know what I'm saying there, but let's take a look at this. The detail is pretty damn good. I'll admit the glaring effect does help a lot. It's got smudges on the front and some dirt. That makes sense. Was used a lot. Number 95. And we got the builder's plaque here. So General Electric diesel locomotive model. Okay, it doesn't show us. Wait, horsepower, date of, I think, manufacturer, if I'm not mistaken. Transportation System Divisions, Erie, PA, made in the USA. That's something you don't see every day in most train games on Roblox. The builder's plaque. That is something you rarely see, actually, because most of the games don't really put this much detail into it. But we do have, down near the wheels, I have seen a couple diesel locomotives in my lifetime. This is pretty damn accurate, I'll be honest. You also have the rails on the side to step up into the cab, I like. And I think this is where the generator comes in. This is where the generator is, like the exhaust fan. Yeah, I think that's where it is. You got smoke blown out next to the horn. I have no idea what this is, so somebody tell me what that is in the comments if you know. Check the rear out. Looks pretty damn more accurate, I'd say so myself. This locomotive is definitely a nice one that the devs built. They put a lot of effort into this, I bet. Does it have a cab interior, though, which is my question. Oh, no, it doesn't. Oh. Alright, but my honest perspective of this train. I like it a lot. I'm not a big fan of diesel locomotives. Myself, I'm more a fan of steam trains. But this locomotive is... I like it. On a scale of 1 to 10, what would I rate it? I'd give it an 8. Because I wish it had a cab interior. That's really about it. And by the way, I will throw up the status of this locomotive in game right before the next locomotive, and I'll do it with the rest so you know what it is called. Alright, on to the next locomotive. Alright, so here we have our next locomotive. This is a, let me make sure because I'm not really familiar with the wheelbase, I'm not very quick on it. It is a 442. Alright, so let's get the basics done. We're going to be taking a look from the inside and the outside. Now, does it have a builder's plate? Let's check for that first off. It would be right here. What is that? That's something I never saw before. Is it something from... Oh, that's a... I don't know what it's from, but that's a neat little secret, I guess. But I did realize in the status thing, this was a Baldwin, so that's all I really know. but this is a part of the Washington and Plymouth Railroad. All right. Do we have good detail on this? Yes, I'd say so myself. We have the, correct me if I'm wrong, is that the sand dome? I'm pretty sure it is. And then we got the, I forgot what it was, but, sorry. The bell, good detail on it, I'll tell you what. We got the air compressors on the side. This train does look very good. Oh, there's another one of them on the other side. Neat little detail. Other than that, it does have smoke effect, which is very nice because most games when you drive a steam train in Roblox, the smoke is just pouring out like crazy. But in this game, it just slides out like a real life train when it's not moving. It just settles out, which is very good. The headlight, which does work, I have tested it out, is a very good headlight. Other than that, it is a wood burner, and it does have cab interior. Not detail, but still, it has a cab at least. But other than that, let's take a look inside of it. Alright, so here we are inside. So, I found out while playing this game yesterday that the new steam trains have wheels, which is a very good improvement. Because most people in this game just floor it going uphill and they just don't lose traction. But if you use this, you will lose traction and you'll have to apply brakes. Sometimes sand won't even work with the wheel stuff. But we have the speedo, the boiler pressure, and the brake PSI, which is a very neat detail, and these both move, including this. We also have our water glass, 90% water. We have our Johnson bar. We have our brake. We have our drain, which drains the steam, or the water, if I'm not mistaken. Guess it doesn't want to work. Oh, there we go. That's pretty neat. You don't see that every day in this new train game on Roblox. We also have our blowdown. Very, very neat. I never see that. We also have our sanders, which I think there is an animation to when it blows sand under the wheels. Let me take a look here. I think there is. Nope. Okay. But what sand does, if y'all don't know, it gains traction because steel on steel does not have any, it's not like a car. That's why sand. The front headlight. It's a nice sound when you turn it on. Very neat. It does light up. Then we got our bell. Very good, very good. And it takes a second to stop, unlike the older models where it stops immediately. That's actually pretty neat. Then we have something new. Our firebox. It actually has a little animation when you open it and close it. But you actually have to fuel it up with the wood in the back by clicking this. And you can hear it getting shoved into the firebox. Which is very, very neat. Very neat. Now, let's take this thing for a drive. And also, I found out, this has a clippable whistle. Which you don't see very often in train games. But it does have one. Let me show you. That is something that makes me very happy because I don't play this game very often, but when I do, I like it. But this made it even more better for me. And our Johnson bar, well, my bad, not Johnson bar, our throttle. That's a Johnson bar. Our throttle has an animation when you actually click it. And you go let that settle down real quick so you can hear all the sounds. Alright, so let's take this thing for a drive down the track and back. Let's see how it performs. very neat. That's surprising. Other than that, this thing runs pretty damn smooth. Give it one more whistle. Let's put our throttle to 0. Let's start braking, and brakes definitely do work. And as you can see, when you're driving it, it does go down. All right. So on a scale of 1 to 10, what would I rate this thing? After seeing the performance and what it can do, with everything included, I'd have to give this thing a 10 out of 10. Because this is something you rarely see in train games on Roblox. You see wheel slip? That is very rare. This is honestly the first game I have seen with actual wheel slip. It really is. And it surprised me yesterday when I found it out. I was like, that is amazing. That is something you will probably only find in this game. Or maybe my game once it comes out. Maybe. That's a little secret we have. I have a game. But I won't be telling you that until later. But honestly, this thing is a 10 out of 10 to begin with. It looks amazing. It sounds amazing. I can't even say anything. It's just amazing. I love it. All right, on to the next train. Alright, so here we are with our final locomotive that has been added. Now, correct me if I am wrong if this has already been added into the game, because I think it was already added into the game because I have seen this thing before in this game before this update dropped. I saw about 2 months ago, but if that is so, this thing got a whole new rework. Has the same animations and everything else as the other locomotive I just showed you, which is very neat. If this locomotive was already in the game, then this is the first locomotive that they have actually heavily remodeled. Not in that way, like the detail looks the same, but they put new animations into it, like the wheel slip and the quillable whistle and everything, and the new control gauges. But we will take a ride in it in a minute, but let's take a look at it on the outside first. So this is numbered 69. I'm not saying that joke. But does it also have the secret detail on the side where the plaque would be? No, it does not. Does it have anything on the other side? No, it does not. But here we are with it. This is a 280. So we have our air compressors on the side. We have our walking board on the side. We have our bell, which is usually about the same detail no matter what. We have our sand dome, and I think you gotta remind me what this is because I keep forgetting. But the rods, it is a dark bluish and grayish color, which is a very unique color for a locomotive. As you can see here, it's light blue, then gray, then dark blue, then yellow, then more dark blue, and then gray. Which, honestly, I'm not really a big fan of the paint. I'm not gonna bring down the rating for it because of the paint. In my opinion, it's all right. I don't hate it. I don't love it. It's okay. I'm just probably not used to these weird paint schemes. But this is a WPAYR railroad. I have no idea what this is, but you will find out in the status when I put it at the end. Does this have a cab detail? Yes, it does. And it's a bigger boiler and a smaller cab. So something like Tweety 12 where I don't think the boiler's big in Tweety 12. I don't think it pokes out like that. But it gets to the door and it's about this much room you have in it to sit in, like Tweety 12. But this is a bigger locomotive. This looks like a passenger locomotive with the paint scheme on it. The headlight is terrific. I love it. This is like a very old stylish headlight. I like it. It is a cold-fired one. We also have the toolbox detail on the side, which is very neat. We have our water. I think these are air tanks or water tanks. Correct me if I'm wrong. And our water tank does open up with every other locomotive in the game. We have the rivets on the back for the don't know what it is, but we also have the stepping plates, which is a very nice detail added on each side as well. We also have all the rivets on the front of the boiler. Now this train, and we also have the, I don't know many things about steam trains, but we also do have the lines for like the air and stuff. and like the knobs and stuff, which you don't see very often because not many people put detail into their train games, unlike DG County. Now, I'm going to put credits to DG County for this, but they did an amazing job with this. I will 100% admit they did an amazing job. But for now, let's go. Alright, so here we are in the locomotive. And yes, I lowered my volume because when I was editing this, I looked at the other steam train I ran and I had my Roblox volume at full. So it was pretty loud, so I did lower the volume for this moment because I realized. But yes, it is the same detail as the last locomotive. We have our Johnson bar, our water glass, same gauges, and our throttle, our brake, our animated firebox that we actually have to put up. Our drains, our blowdown, our sand, our bell, and our light, and it also does work. Our brakes as well. And we also have our quillable whistle. And it does work very, very well, as I will demonstrate here. Very nice, very nice. So let's take this thing for a drive real quick, and we will see how it performs. So let's see if we can get some wheel slip real quick. Let's bring our throttle up to 4%. There we go, there's some wheel slip. That is a very nice detail, as I already said, but you really couldn't hear me say that in the last clip because I had my volume up. But this definitely does look like a passenger train, out of all things. And it does run very smoothly, as I'm seeing. No problem. So let's kick it up a little bit. 45% throttle. Let's use our blowdown. Good. Very, very nice details. So, up a little bit more, 60 miles an hour. And also, when you're going a little bit faster, the chugging animation changes. The sound, which is very neat. Other than that, this thing is a very nice locomotive. I just don't really know about the paint scheme. I'm not a big fan of it, but I will mess with it. All right. So, let's blow our whistle one more time. We will stop. Damn good. Alright, so here's my honest opinion about this train. I am not going to downgrade it because of the paint scheme, because I don't like it, but I also don't love it. I am 50-50 with it. That's not going to bring down my rating on it. I'm going to give this thing, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. Because, to be honest with you, the last locomotive I liked a lot more because of the whistle. And it also had a little bit more detail, and I like the paint scheme. This is honestly my opinion, so if y'all don't like my opinion, that's fine. It's just my opinion. If I like this or I don't like this. No shame. If you like this train, I have no problem with that. It's your opinion. But this is my opinion. I'll rate it a 9 out of 10. I like the whistle more on the other locomotive than this one. I like higher pitched whistles because, honestly, that other locomotive kind of reminded me of Tweetsy 12. Because of the whistle and how it looked. Now, I know it's actually not like the same type of locomotive as Tweetsy, but it kind of does. Not in that way, like the length, the size, the height, and the whistle really did make it seem like it. But it's not, and I know that. But out of all things, I have no problems with this thing. I just not a big fan of the whistle. I wish it was different, but I get that this whistle fits it, and I have no problem with it. I'm just not that big of a fan with it. Other than that, everything else is good. No problems with it at all. It is amazing. So I am going to head out now, and I will try and make a newer video later on down the road, and that will possibly be about our game. Anyways, I will be heading out now, you guys, and I will promise you again, I will make a newer video. All right. You all have a blessed day.